Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Fez for Bitcoin for Beginners. In this video, we're going to take a look at the charts, in particular Bitcoin and Ethereum. And after their explosive gains yesterday, I'm going to share with you what I think is in their immediate future. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, stick around and find out more. Okay, so let's get started with Bitcoin. First of all, we're going to take a look at the daily chart. Any of you that are on Twitter and are following anybody, you will know that a significant level for Bitcoin was around 10,500. Yesterday we blew through that and we peaked at around 11,000. If we look back at 2019, you can see that there was this strong trend that Bitcoin deviated from back in late September 2019, and it struggled to regain the range and it dropped several times for extended periods of time. Mid-February though, we did manage to reclaim the range briefly and we traded at a high of around 10,500, which is why this is such a significant area for Bitcoin. Then of course we crashed hard to 3,600, but since then we have been very steadily growing and we have managed to reclaim the range that we were trading in 2019. What we need to do now is hold on to this. As you can see, we're currently at the mid-range of this historical range. As we blew up yesterday to the 11,000, we touched on the mid-range and rejected. What we need to see now is a nice steady growth above that, a retest of that mid-range, and then continued growth towards 14,000. Now, I don't think this is impossible. In fact, I think it's very likely that we do see within the next couple of months 14,000. The area that I have highlighted on screen is an area of accumulation and distribution. The reason I've carried that across to the green candle from yesterday is because that blue box actually sits really nicely in between the wicks of the candles either side of that massive green candle. What this means to me is that there is potential for a dip down into that blue area before we head back to 14,000. Now if we take a look at the 4-hour chart and look a little bit closer, you'll see exactly what it is that I'm seeing. Now on the 4-hour chart, I've drawn another trading range, and as you can see, we've been trading sideways since May, with the mid-range proving pivotal on numerous occasions. Now that we've broken out of this trading range and we're headed toward the mid-range of the historical range that I drew out, I'm saying the word range so many times it is losing all meaning. But what you will see is that the blue box that I highlighted on the daily is still there, and it fits very nicely between those two big wicks that align with the daily candle. And that to me signifies that we could see a drop back down to 10,500, although briefly, and then continue to climb upwards and hopefully aiming for that 14,000. Now if we switch over to the 15-minute chart, okay, so I've drawn yet another trading range, but you might notice that the mid-range of this one aligns very closely to the mid-range of the trading range on the daily chart, and this highlighted blue strip that I've put in there to me signifies an area of accumulation or distribution of market makers being able to sort of sell or load up their bags before and after the dip. Now I keep talking about this dip and I am not bearish on Bitcoin at all. Whilst I think we may flash crash down or we may have a quick dip down into that blue box that I've highlighted, I do think that we are going to reclaim 11,000, 12,000 and head towards 14,000 in the next couple of months. Okay, so before going any further, hopefully you've enjoyed the video so far. If you have, then please make sure that you smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't, then you know what to do. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, you can do so by clicking the red button, which is located extremely close to the thumbs up and the thumbs down button. So make sure you do both of those. Are there any charts that you guys would like me to look at? If there are, make sure that you write the project in the comment section below and I will do my very best to get round to it. Okay, so starting with the daily trading chart, I again have put on numerous ranges dating back to 2018, 2019 and 2020. And I've done this because the highs, lows and the mid-ranges for all of these ranges are going to be significant when in terms of price action for areas of accumulation, resistance and support. And you can see this in the areas where price touches on the mid ranges or highs and lows in the smaller ranges, two of which I have highlighted in blue, but there are several others in there. So with Ethereum, the case is very similar to as it is with Bitcoin, as you would expect, because the two are so closely related in price action. Moving on to the 4-hour chart, you can see in better detail how the ranges act as support and resistance for price action. So now we've broken out of 2020's historical trading range. That means that we are aiming for the highs of the 2019 trading range at around $360–370. Now I do think that we are going to take this, and if Bitcoin can take 14,000 and continue higher, then I would expect us to be aiming somewhere in 2018's trading range. But in the near future, I expect there to be a dip. I expect us to retrace to somewhere around $260 before we break out above the range again and head to the highs of 360. On the 15-minute chart, hopefully you can see why I'm looking at 260 as an area of resistance before we go back up. Now, of course, with all predictions, I could get this absolutely wildly wrong. I'm predicting a dip and one more chance to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum before it takes off. I could be completely wrong. Bitcoin could absolutely rocket to 14k over the next 72 hours, and Ethereum could follow it closely behind. I think there's too many people calling for 2017 highs and new all-time highs. I just don't think we're ready for that yet. I think we're going to get another opportunity before we rocket. Now, I'd like to know if you guys think any differently. Do you think we're about to just rocket past 14k and hit 20,000, or do you think we're going all the way back down to 7k? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, you know what to do. If you haven't subscribed already, then make sure you go and do that now. I will see you in the next video. I've been Fez for Bitcoin for Beginners. Take care.